Hey guys, I'm late. I know. I tried to make this video a couple of days ago and it didn't work out very well. It was basically just a whole lot of stupid. So I decided to do something a little different this time, and I have notes. Like I prepared something. Um, this isn't necessarily going to be this is what happened between 6 months and 7 months. This is going to be more of a general transitional check-in. And because I'm late, I can also combine this video with my 6 month post-op video because I am 6 months post-op today. So that's exciting. We'll get to talking about that here in a little while. Um, as far as physical changes go, it's all par for the course. I don't really have anything new to add to the discussion. I've been saying that since I started. Um, my physical changes are pretty textbook, but a friend of mine recently started tea, and so he was asking me about some specifics that I haven't really gone into, and other people have talked about them, but I might as well share my own experience because this is what we do. So, my voice change, my voice in general, um, I'm kind of ambivalent about it in that I like that I pass now. The voice the voice certainly helps a lot with that. I like that I pass now. I generally like my voice, but there are times when I don't recognize it. It's usually in the morning when I wake up, when like a yawn or whatever. Um, and I can't really figure out how that sound is coming from me. So that took some getting used to. And then, like, my voice still gets tired. I still find it difficult to project sometimes when I have been speaking for a while. Um, I think it's dropping again. I feel like I've been saying that for the past 3 months and nothing's really happened, but somebody did recently mention that they thought my voice was deeper, so maybe it is something that's happening and it's just been so gradual that I didn't notice. Um, but the voice change has certainly been an adjustment. Trying to relearn how to sing has certainly been an adjustment. I'm starting, I think, to get my falsetto voice back. At least I hope I am. My chest voice is fine. My chest voice is how my chest voice has always been, just deeper. Um, but I would really like to have access to the upper range as far as males go. Like, I would like to have access to the tenor range, at least some of it, and I don't at this point. At this point, I am taking male songs down an octave, and that's a little terrifying. But according to my research, that's very common and temporary. So maybe once my voice finally does settle, whenever in the hell that might be, I'll I'll, I'll actually have access to it. So crossing my fingers, crossing my fingers. Um, and then body hair. I don't have any. I don't have any at all. Um, I was looking at my hands earlier, um, and I definitely have more little tiny babies just creeping up along the back of my hand. Um, but it's not enough for anybody to notice. Like I feel very hairless. I have no torso hair. I have no happy trail. I have no chest hair. None of it. My thighs are hairier, but it's so soft and fine that they might as well not be. I have no body hair to speak of. And then on top of the hair issue, I have like actual like head hair anxiety. I worry about my hair all of the time. I worry that it's thinning when it's not. I just, I have hair anxiety. It's crazy. It's stupid. I need to let it the hell go. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. And I've already shaved my head once, so I know that I know that if I do that, it'll be fine. I have a fairly decent shaped head. I just have hair anxiety. It is what it is. I wish that I didn't, but I do. Um, it kind of blows. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know if I should do social changes or mental changes first. Let's do social changes. Um, Male privilege is certainly a fucking thing. Men are nicer to me. I don't know why. It's a little counterintuitive. I would have thought that men would be nicer to women, but men are nicer to me. I realize that I can set the tone for conversations differently than I could before. The example that I have was I recently had my first stealth one-on-one interaction with another man, and immediately he started asking me about, college life and girls and going out and partying and this, that, and the other. And I turned it around. I brought it back to feminism. I was like, sure, I go out sometimes, but I'm not really looking to like rack up my numbers. I'm not really into that. And then I was talking about our mutual friend who has some children, and how I will just watch those kids and can't say no to that. Like, you want me to watch your children while you go get a job? Yes, absolutely. You want to pay me after you told me that you're struggling to make ends meet? No, you keep your money. I don't care. I'll watch your kids. Like, I can't. I have to do it. I have to do it. And so, I just I brought it around to these kinds of issues, and he was open to it, and he was responding to it. And men have never done that prior to transition. That anytime I would bring up feminist anything, they would just kind of roll their eyes and humor me and then move on. Whereas now, I may actually be taken seriously. Like, what is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? I don't even understand. I don't understand. I don't like it. Um, but I guess I'm gonna use it. So there's that. Um, yeah, yeah. Male privilege is definitely a thing. And then the other thing that I noticed, I identified as a lesbian before I came out as trans. Um, and while I have always naturally been attracted to straight women, for the 10 years that I identified as a lesbian, I trained myself to be attracted to lesbians. And so now I am invisible to this group that I used to be a part of. And that's a little weird. Um, it's not alienating, it's not something I regret. I I was recently invited out to the lesbian bar out in Dallas, and I told my friend no. I was like, if you were going to like a general gay club where it was kind of for everybody, then sure, but I don't want to be that asshole guy that walks into the lesbian bar. That space isn't for me. That space is for them, and they should have that space to be away from men and to just be themselves and not have to fucking worry about it. They should. They should have that space, and that space isn't for me. And she asked me, well, how do you feel about losing that community? And I don't know that I necessarily have. I am still very active in the queer community in general, as I have always been, and I will always be. Um, I interact with lesbians all of the time. I just am not going to insert myself into their space. I feel that that is disrespectful, and I'm not going to do it. That's all there is to it. So that's where I am socially. And then mental changes. The note that I have here says that it hurts my head to try to think of them. I don't know if I don't like talking about my mental changes because I'm not in touch with myself anymore or because there haven't been any. I like to think I'm fairly aware of myself as a general rule. So I like to think that it's because there haven't really been any. Um, I do feel remarkably the same. I'll have moments where I'm driving or just going through the store, everyday moments that people do, that you do all of your life, that you have been doing all of your life, that they're universal, whether you're male, female, whatever the hell you are. There are things that you do, and so I'm doing these things and I'm thinking back to how they felt pre-transition, and like everything's remarkably the same. I feel remarkably the same. I don't feel that I am any mentally different. um, and so I think that's why I have such a hard time talking about where I am mentally, because there's nothing to report. um, I'm happy. I think that's important. I'm happy and apparently more at ease. So yay for that. That was supposed to be the entire point of all of this, and it worked. So good 7 months so far. All right. Um, I think that covers it for testosterone related information. Let's do chest stuff real quick. Oh, that was my change jar. Shh! Don't rattle change jar. Don't do it. Yes, it's on my floor. Don't ask. All right. So I haven't shown my chest in a while, so I'm gonna do that. All right. So I never really have a whole heck of a lot to say. These are what my scars look like 6 months. I didn't really do much scar care. I mean, I did some, but um, not really enough for it to make a difference. But I like how straight they are. I kind of stretched. Oh, there it is. I've got a pretty serious keloid right in through here, but that's my own fault. There's not a lot I can do about that. Um, I did it to myself. I can't complain. But other than that, they're definitely starting to flatten out. Um, we'll see what time does to them. I wanted to talk a little bit about my stretch marks because I think they're interesting. Um, I was a fairly large-breasted person pre-op, so I have all of these weird stretch marks like under my nipples, just because the skin had stretched prior to my surgery, and then like it's weird, and then I have some up here, and then the most fun are the stretch marks that come up into my scars and then just stop. So I don't know if they're that noticeable if I would just be walking down the street. Like, I can see them, and if you're looking for them, you can probably see them. I don't know. But I'm not really worried about it. As far as sensitivity goes, I don't know. I can feel them. I get random shooting pains through them, which I think means that the um, the sensitivity is coming back. When I touch the skin around it, it feels like I am approaching nipple, and so Maybe a good sign, I don't know, but they look pretty good. They're pretty much always in this state of hardness, though. That's exciting. I don't really know what to do about that, but that's okay. So, this is where I'm at. 7 months on T, 6 months post-op. I think I'm done rambling. I think this video is probably a little better than my others. Maybe. Alright, see you guys in a little less than a month. Bye.